The church here is the oldest continuous church in Georgia, and it was built by the earlier structures were built by the Salzburgers, and it's a continuation of that church where they could practice their religion. It's a Lutheran religion now, and they were able to have freedom of religion here, which they didn't have before they came over here. They were persecuted for that.
And the Protestant Reformation came to the Salzburg area quite early in the Reformation times in the early 1500s. And there were many Protestants that continued to live, although they were in the minority over the years. Some of the archbishops, who were also the rulers of the Principality of Salzburg, were more tolerant. Others were more oppressive.
And they were persecuted many different ways, imprisoned, had their children taken away and put into church schools, stuff like that. I think there was some persecution to death. I know there was one pastor who was beheaded and his head was impaled on his pulpit, but mostly it was imprisonment and stuff like that.
Failure to embrace Catholicism. Actually, they were taking their children from them.
And in 1727, Archbishop Leopold von Firmian became the new ruler prince, Archbishop Prince of Salzburg, and he wanted uniformity and the totality of the faith. And everyone had to comply to the state church.
It was a period of time when they were suffering and persecuted for their religious beliefs before they came over here. And it was a life of struggle for them.
October 31, 1731, he issued the edict of expulsion. All would have to leave. And then the soldiers took the census list and went into the villages and rounded everyone up and sent them packing.
And 20,000 expulsed, which they went in Moravia, everywhere. Only 245 came here.
Samuel Ulsberger, who was pastor at St. Anna's Church in Augsburg, had been in England and had contact with Michael Ziegenhagen, who was the court chaplain for King George II. And with those communications, that led to the new Georgia colony seeking settlers, and the Salzburgers seemed to fit the bill for the type of colony that was being developed in Georgia.
Here we go!
Oh, it's 'cause you were turning it the wrong way.
Might have to go through again because I don't like it so.
And of course, General Oglethorpe was looking for settlers, particularly settlers with skills, to build the colony of Georgia.
We were put in this location to buffer the coast from the Spaniards. Then they moved on down to Florida.
Well, they came to Georgia to practice their faith as Lutherans, and they moved into the hinterlands and settled here at Ebenezer, first at Old Ebenezer, about 5 miles away from here, and in 1736 they relocated here. And this was essentially a Lutheran community.
And Oglethorpe wanted the Salzburgers up here because they got along with the, what's the name of the tribe?
Bucci Indians.
Bucci Indians got along with the. Now, she's more authority on all this because she educates 3 of my grandkids. They come down here, all my kids come down to her retreat.
These are the ones that the women use. The women wear these around their legs right here, and they do a type of shake with their legs. Like you see this picture, it's my mother right here, and all these women have these turtles on. All these women have their very own turtles that are made. And this is what they're called the ribbon dance. It's a dance that was just made just for the women. And it's held every June towards Easter. And it's a dance just for the women, and we have dances just for men. This is one of our helpers. They call them po' boys. These guys help around the ground and everything, and stomp grounds. He's bending his head because this is also a prayer ceremony that we do as well. So he's his head bent, kind of prayer. And these are 2 singers that have their very own shell rattles here that they shake. One hand, we got crane feather carriers. These crane feathers are very important to us. And here's us wearing jackets that are made out of ribbon and types of cloth that my mother made me. My mom made me this. She made every single one of mine ever since I was just a little boy. And I was doing the same thing that these guys are doing right here. We're running and we're showing our respects to our ground that was given to us, that we believe that God gave to specifically to us Indians. and to all tribes, and is welcome to all people as well.
People came for a lot of different reasons, mostly for freedom to live like they chose to live.
Well, I think it was very valuable for the Salzburgers because of the oppression in the old country. And when Georgia became a royal colony and the mechanics were started for Georgia to be the official church, state church, to be the Church of England, one of the strongest opponents in the colony was Pastor John Martin Bolzius, because he was very much aware of when you combine church and state, what it can lead to. And he was very much aware, of course, of the oppression that combining church and state in the Principality of Salzburg led to the oppression of the Protestants there.
The British came in, took over the town. They used it for a hospital and a stable, that church. When they left, there was 2 houses left, and that's one of them right here.
They came here for freedom of religion and freedom of speech, and that was very, very important to them. They gave up their homeland, their family, other families, and they left everything behind. And the only thing they could bring was what they had brought on their backs and they could carry over here.
There were various religious groups that came to the colonies, to the British colonies, seeking religious freedom. And there was diversity in these groups. Maryland was originally founded as a haven for persecuted Catholics from England. There were Jewish communities very early in a number of colonies, including Georgia. So we had the religious diversity, and we learned to respect each other and the various faiths, and that led to, of course, the First Amendment to our Constitution, that Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion, nor prohibiting the free exercise thereof. And those two clauses have created a tension, what constitutes free exercise and what constitutes establishment.